The toy situation is getting out of hand, so I'm gonna go around the house, gather up all of the toys, sort through them, and create a system and get something in place so we can get these toys organized. I keep Owens Toys in probably 3 or 4 main areas. First of all, we have toys in his bedroom, so I'm starting by collecting those. I have a couple of toys in our bedroom, some in the basement, and then the bulk of his toys are in our living room. So that's where I'm deciding to organize everything, gathering all of the toys from around the house, bringing them to the living room, and even pulling all of the toys out from the living room furniture that we have, and I am going to sort these into categories to get started. The unit on the right-hand side of the fireplace here is new, so I had put some toys in there because I knew that's where I wanted to store Owen's toys, but I hadn't had the chance to actually organize it. So after pulling all of that out, I am for sure going to make a pile of stuffed animals. For an 8-9-month-old baby, he has way too many stuffed animals. So I knew that was going to be a category, and then I was going to just create the rest of the categories as I went.
Look at those beautiful stars. I want to take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
So you'll see I have a pile of like little lovey type items. I have a pile of like really small random toys. I have a pile of rattles, a pile of larger toys. And then I'm putting all of the bins and baskets that I have to organize the toys on the back wood there, so I can keep those separated from the toys and just evaluate the toys and then the organizers and figure out how I'm going to divide them between the rooms. This is that random miscellaneous pile, so many little items, and I think I'm just gonna have to have a spot for little random toys.
It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold.
This little pushcart walker thing my brother and sister-in-law gave to us. They had an extra one, and it's fun because it holds blocks on it, and it has these birds that move, and it has little felt wings on each of the birds, but Owen loves to pull the felt wings off, so I had to thread those back through, and I think I'm just going to keep it by the side table there. I realized I had a few more random toys that were in the car and in his stroller, so I grabbed those just so I had every single toy that this kid owns all together to evaluate it all at once.
I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breath.
I also got some new bins to use in the unit by the fireplace. I knew I wanted to use one of them for these blocks that we got. These blocks are great. They're perfect for young babies. It says 0 months plus. So they are squishy and chewy, and a baby can chew on them, or as a kid gets older, they can start to build with them. But the plastic bag that they came in just wasn't really working for us. I wanted them to be able to dump into a bin without having to perfectly organize them into that little plastic bag. And as I'm saying that I wanted to be able to just dump it in a bin and not worry about perfectly organizing it, here I am perfectly organizing it, probably just because this is the first time and I wanted it to look pretty as I'm doing this video, and just to have an aesthetically pleasing after for this toy organization makeover. But trust me, on a day-to-day basis, I am not going to organize these by color. I just wanted to figure out how they best fit in this bin the first time, and after that they will be dumped in here. So I grabbed one bin for, I think I'm just gonna call it large toys. I had a couple of balls there. Again, one bin is definitely going to be stuffed animals, so I'm sorting through the stuffed animals This one makes womb sounds. It's for a little baby, so I pulled that one out. He doesn't really use that one very often. This one is not what Owen was named after, but this is from one of my favorite childhood books. The book is called Owen, and my mom found 2 of the little Owen dolls that go along with the book. One of them holds a mini version of the book. The other one holds a blanket. It's a super cute story. And then a Ferrari bear that my dad got him. But my idea in general is to divide the toys. So he has a couple of stuffed animals down here. He has a couple of stuffed animals up in his bedroom. And then I'm also going to keep some toys in the basement so he can start playing down there. It's a nice, safe space without a lot of sharp corners. And as he's crawling around, I think it'll be nice to let him crawl around there. He does still spend the bulk of his playtime in the living room here. The living room is doubling up as a playroom for us. So his most used toys I want to have in the living room bins. Probably second most used I will put in his bedroom, and then just random things, so there's something for him to play with, I will put in the basement, or things that are maybe toys that are a little bit older for him or a little bit too young for him, I will put in the basement as well. I love the idea of a play shelf where you can leave toys out so your child can easily access them. This side table is going to be perfect to double as that, and I will say, as I've already organized it this way, Owen will crawl over here and grab toys. He loves being able to get whatever he wants. It's less work for us because we don't have to hand him the toys or try and guess what he wants to play with. He can grab whatever he wants. There is a lamp cord that I'll have to take care of over there, but I specifically chose the toys that are larger and I don't want them rolling around in a bin or something on that side table. The next step I wanted to take was to try out the organizers in the unit here just to see how they fit. It's always important to fit your containers into the space that you're organizing before you just load up everything into your containers, because it might not fit well or work with the space or solve the problem that you're trying to solve. So I'm playing around with the organizers, seeing what makes sense and how I can fit them into the unit. I want things to be able to slide in and out easily. That's most important when it comes to toy organization. You want it to be practical. I'm trying to limit the number of bins that have tops on them, just because with a little kid, I want him to be able to grab in there. I want us to be able to dump the toys in there like I've been saying over and over again. But a couple of things like blocks, it does make more sense to have lids on the bins. These little bins are perfect for books. I have a couple of books from Lovevery there that have been sent in the Playkits that we've been receiving every single month, as well as some cards and play guides. Every single Lovevery Playkit that's delivered to our house every 2 months comes with a play guide that is so helpful on how to use the toys that come with it, as well as all of the different developments that your baby is going through, some other fun DIY things that you can do with your baby. So I decided to put all of those things up on the higher shelf because they're more things for me to use or me to grab a book to read to him as opposed to him. So once he's able to get those cabinet doors open, or I can leave them open for him, he can crawl over to that unit, grab some toys as well, and he probably will want to be able to access something else as opposed to the play guide, for example. Okay, next up I'm going through all of the little miscellaneous toys and rattles. Again, keeping his favorites up here, putting some in the basement, probably a couple in our room just to entertain him while we're getting ready. And then I have all of these books, a lot of these things attached to his car seats and strollers, and I like to use them on the go so they don't fall. So a couple of those I will set aside for that.
About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for.
Okay, then I also have a bunch of little items here that I don't want to get lost in a large bin. A lot of these are from Owen's new Lovevery Playkit for the 9 to 10 months. So I'm gonna set those on the side of the books for now. I'm not sure if that's where I wanna keep it, but I had somebody wake up from his nap and wanna come join us. So here is Owen to come help me out with organizing his toys. I was asking him what toys he wanted where and making sure he was liking the way I was organizing it. But I think he was having more fun playing with that little bucket.
Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it.
Now we have the majority of the toys kind of organized here, so I'm grabbing all of the ones I wanted to put in the basement, bringing those downstairs, taking Owen with me, and this whole left side of this large unit is completely empty. I'm saving it all for Owen, all for toys, and it just fills up a couple of those shelves here. And I am going to raise that shelf a little bit so he can have his woodland creatures there. And you'll see Owen is starting to crawl around and he's chasing after the camera. He wants to grab that tripod. I thought it would be easy filming with him sitting here, but as you can see, it definitely was not. Owen's now making a mess out of the toys, which is totally fine. That's what it's meant for. And crawling again towards the tripod. And I am going to get out all of my stuff to make some labels. And today I'm using my Cricut Joy machine. This is my smaller machine. I also have a larger Cricut that I keep up in my office, but since we were in the basement and I wanted to redo a couple of labels in Owen's bedroom, and I know I used the 2 green colors of the Cricut Joy material, I'm just going to use the Cricut Joy. It's easy. I can set up the labels on the app on my phone and just send them straight through via Bluetooth to the Cricut Joy and make all of the labels down here really easily.
Another glass and I am going places.
As I was working on this organizing project, I was thinking about a few different ways to organize kids' toys, and I know a very popular method is a toy rotation. That is a way where you can just have your child focus on a few toys at a time, not be completely overwhelmed by a bunch of toys, and you can rotate those toys out so they're then excited by something new that they maybe haven't seen in a while, and it makes the toys, first of all, feel like new again. It reduces the overwhelm for both you and for your child so they can really focus on just a few toys at a time. I don't think we're quite there yet. We don't have that many toys in general. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think we have a lot. But I like the idea for now of having just a few toys in each of the spaces that we like to play with Owen. That way each space has some toys that feel like new. So if we're in the living room and he's bored and he's been playing with the same toys over and over and over again, and then we switch it up and go play in the basement, there's new toys down there that he hasn't played with in a while. If you're wondering where Owen is at this point, he did go back upstairs with Jim, so I'm not just neglecting him right now while I work on all these labels. And the fun thing about this is I can multitask, so as one label is being cut, I can start prepping the other ones and weeding away the vinyl. If you're interested in the Cricut Joy, I filmed a video all about it. I can link that so you can watch if you are thinking about buying one or wondering how to use one if you already have one. But as you can tell, watching, it's a pretty simple process. The labels that I had in Owen's room for a couple of his bins, I made before he was even born. And that's part of the problem with creating one organizing system and not having any flexibility with it. You want to be able to adapt your organizing systems as things change and evolve. And when you're talking about things changing and evolving, there is no better example than kids. They change so quickly and evolve so quickly. I labeled one extra toys and one current toys. That just didn't make sense. So I'm going to label one as extra toys and then one as stuffed animals because I need a spot to put some of his stuffed animals in his room. In the living room, I'm just sorting these bins again, playing around with things. I wanted to have all of the large bins on the bottom there. And then I had a couple of those gray boxes. This big one, I decided I'm just gonna put it in the basement for now because I don't have anything that really fits it. And then the middle shelf I'm gonna do as another play shelf with Owen's current toys from his Playkit. Now, I know I've mentioned Lovevery a couple of times, and if you are somebody who uses Lovevery Toys, you probably noticed that is the majority of our toys, which has made this organizational process so easy. It also makes the toy buying process really easy because I don't have to think about it at all, and I just have these boxes delivered to my house every 2 months, and they are age-appropriate toys that help with Owen's development. They are things that help with his fine motor skills, and I love that it keeps his toy collection minimal yet purposeful. So it's not a bunch of junk that he has. It is toys that I'm watching him learn and grow with, and he continues to use some of his toys from previous months. So I'm not putting those away. I'm leaving those out because he still likes playing with toys from previous months' boxes. I just keep looking forward to the next box that he gets because I know it's such an exciting day when we get new toys for him. And throughout the couple of months that those toys apply to, it is so fun to watch him start to try and learn to use something, struggle with it, and continue to work through those challenges over a few months, and then finally master one of the toys. It is just the most rewarding process, and I get so proud of him. I will have a link in the description box below if you are interested if you want to buy the Lovevery Playkits for yourself and your child, or if you know somebody who's having a baby or has a young kid, they would make a great baby shower gift or even a birthday gift. They're for kids from 0 to 4 years old. The last step I shared in one of my organizing hack videos, and I am just going to apply some double-sided foam tape under the bin clip so the bin clip stays on the bin there and doesn't slide around and doesn't fall off. Very important with bins that are being taken in and out of the space very often, as these ones most likely will. Now I have all of the labels on, so let's take a look at the after and what this unit looks like and all of the organized toys.
Looks like you're changing and all